My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tawengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, world-class heart treatment facility opens in Nandi. Tuna industry lowest contributor to the Fijian economy. And RBF works on insurance cover for low-income households.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
A first-of-its-kind advanced heart treatment facility has begun operation in Namaka, Nandi. Heart International has the state-of-the-art facility and will provide all the necessary investigations and management related to coronary heart diseases at a fraction of the cost. Ritika Pratap reports.
Patients with the slightest to the most advanced or complicated blockages of coronary arteries can now be treated at this new facility in Nandi. These include angiograms, angioplasty and stenting.
The aim of Heart International was to develop a world-class facility. You could do things in different ways. You could do it with whatever means are available to you, make do, or you could try to make it state-of-the-art.
The facility is a replica of the hospitals in Australia and New Zealand. The idea is to provide affordable treatment to Fijians and people from the South Pacific island countries.
The challenge for us was dual, two challenges. Number one, to actually replicate the quality and sort of not just the beauty of the building, but in terms of the equipment and the facility and the infrastructure behind these walls. And the second challenge that we anticipate we will face is making it affordable.
Fiji-born surgeon Dr. Parmanand, who is the co-founder of Heart International Limited, says this new development is earmarked to attract medical tourism.
I'm already in the process of speaking to some of the neighboring islands like Niue, Samoa, Kiribati, who send their patients abroad to India. So I think there's a lot of scope in trying to get these patients here.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Kayum has urged entrepreneurs to set up a foundation to help those that may not be able to afford the treatment.
I think a lot of other entrepreneurs I've seen in this room, you could actually do that. And this facility can actually, help those, because there may be people, of course, who may not be able to afford $12,000 because they may be earning only $15,000 a year. So those people targeted, if we have means tested, we could then be able to provide a particular level of service or assistance to them to be able to access these facilities.
The founders of Heart International say Fijians should be proud of this hospital, given that the equipment is the best in the South Pacific and puts Fiji on par with countries such as Australia, New Zealand, USA, Canada, UK and Singapore. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Fiji's fishing industry is the lowest contributor towards the economy. Minister of Economy Ayaz Sayed Kayum says the fishing industry accounts for only 0.1% of the contribution. Sharon Shivan reports.
It has been plagued with enormous challenges over the years, resulting in being the lowest economic contributor.
The fishing industry has been prone to a number of, shall we say, anomalies in a very diplomatic manner, where some of these entities actually have done a lot of, engaged in a lot of corrupt dealings, have misrepresented facts, have not necessarily given the right information both to the Fishing Industry Association and also to the Ministry of Fisheries.
Overfishing remains a worry for local tuna companies and they are asking for government to intervene.
The industry is suffering from many aspects, that some of which are local, but many are foreign-based and surrounding us and not within the control of Fiji. But the overfishing that's going on in the Pacific is devastating.
We want to work together obviously with all the stakeholders, and obviously we'll be doing that through the Ministry of Fisheries, Ministry of Economy and the Fishing Industry Association itself.
Meanwhile, $3.2 million fund will soon be distributed to 7 local tuna companies to help them compete with overseas companies. Sharon Shivan, FBC News.
Police are investigating another alleged brawl involving students of a Suva-based school. It is alleged a student sustained injuries to his left eye in the incident. The student's mother claims a senior student from the same school allegedly assaulted him after making allegations that her son stole a mobile phone. She also claims her son was told to leave the school premises even though they did not find evidence of the alleged theft. Police Chief of Investigation and Intelligence, Bu Matavo, has confirmed they are investigating the matter. The Reserve Bank of Fiji is working on establishing a disaster risk insurance cover for the household sector, specifically for the low-income and the uninsured population. RBF Governor Arif Ali says with technical assistance from the World Bank, after the first round of assessment, they have been able to come up with proposed covers for different levels on households. Savara Tambua reports.
The different classifications include gold for those who can afford insurance and are currently paying it, silver for middle-income families who can afford insurance but do not have it, and bronze for low-income earners.
Target group at this time is the bronze standard, and we have now reached a stage where a product proposal has been put together for sum insured of approximately 7,000 for households to be offered, with low levels of compliance and a premium of just around $200 per year.
Apart from this, the RBF is also working with the Food and Agriculture Organization and the Fiji Crop and Livestock Council to design a crop insurance product for specific crops such as sugarcane, dalo, cassava, and yangona.
This cover is for the perils such as cyclone, floods, and droughts. The product is purely parametric insurance cover.
Looking at the premiums for sugar, it's for $10,000, it's about $52 a year. Is this deductible source from FSC?
For the first 3 years, the cane farmers are not paying any premium. The premium is paid by the Sugarcane Coast Fund, with some assistance from FSC, the Sugarcane Coast Council, and the PFIP.
The Governor says that the various development work that have been undertaken behind the scenes in the last 3 years are now beginning to show the results. Sabara Tambua, FBC News.
Still to come, salary disparity led to brain drain of civil servants. And tonight we bring you the success story of businessman Tanuj Patel. Stay with us.
Moala rarara ranavika, o tikongona tauna singatoka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, nambandua na sere.
Ya dora chubuni kurnambili. Ibora ni batu kara hambara binaranga. Do talitakin na waronga ng Bula FM, nambandua na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, nambandua na sere.
Prime Minister Bainimarama says the smiles that Fijians in America share can turn into diplomacy. Speaking at the Black and White Ball to commemorate Fiji Day in San Francisco, United States yesterday, Bainimarama said Fiji is blessed to have such great ambassadors spread far and wide around the globe. He says the word and cherished memories of Fijians living in US can be converted into increased tourism and investment. He says with COP23 fast approaching, the coming months are going to be an opportunity for them to show that pride more than ever before. Bainimarama said Fiji is not just leading the South Pacific, but leading the world's campaign on the most pressing issue. He urged Fijians to share the news and developments with everyone, as by doing this they will be helping Fiji in ways that cannot be accomplished alone. There has been a lot of brain drain from the civil service due to the government's poor pay structure in the past, says Economy Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum. Said Qayyum says this was the findings of a survey that was conducted to determine the base salary of civil service in comparison to the private sector. Rachel Nath has more.
Over the years, many Fijians have opted to leave their government jobs to move to the private sector, and the Economy Minister explains just why.
When he started off at the graduate level, or the entry level, we should say, when he started in civil service, your salary was here. Private sector was here. As the years went by, it went this way. So in the private sector, after a few years, it was very easy to climb up and you get, big increments. Whereas in the government, as the higher you got, your salary structure compared to the private sector actually went lower.
Ayaz Said Qayyum says this cost the government some really good employers in different areas of proficiency.
After a few years of experience, they go to these overseas conferences, they get all this training, government invests a lot of money in them, then they'll get poached by the private sector, or they'll get poached by a multilateral agency. In government, there is very much driven by titles, so people like the idea of titles.
However, the Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation says the government is still leading in some areas.
I think they need to look at their various human resources units, see that they are well trained, they are professionals in the area. Secondly, they have to look at policies. Their policies has to be flexible enough to respond very quickly to the environment around them.
The salary structure for civil servants has now been changed, whereby regular assessments are undertaken to allow these workers in the public service to get increments based on their performances. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
A 24-year-old nurse from Sydney, Australia is believed to have died while holidaying in Fiji. According to several Australian media reports, Kelly Clark was taken to Lautoka Hospital last Wednesday before passing away on Friday, with doctors unable to determine what caused her death. The woman came to Fiji for her honeymoon with her 28-year-old husband, Chase Clark. Sydney Morning Herald reports it was initially suspected that Clark had passed away due to typhoid. However, blood tests revealed that the disease was not the cause of her death. Questions sent to the Health and Medical Services Ministry by FBC News remains unanswered. It's not very often you find a 29-year-old operating a successful world-renowned franchise. However, Tanuj Patel is a test to this. In our Successful Fijian segment tonight, we bring you the story of the man behind the famous Eagle Boys Pizza in Suva. Rachel Nath with this success story.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Tanuj Patel was 6 years old when he left Fiji to study in Australia, and coming back home has been quite rewarding.
I moved back here about 3 years or 4 years ago to start the Eagle Boys. It was the franchise. It took about 2 years before we actually opened our first shop. The first shop was in 2015. And then about 2 years later, then we opened our second one in FNPF.
After obtaining his Bachelor of Commerce from the University of New South Wales, Patel started working in the hospitality industry.
Ever since I was 17, it's always been in that industry, food and beverage and hospitality. I was always hands-on. I would be in the kitchen or serve tables, wipe tables. I enjoy that thing. So it was just a natural progression, so to speak, entering into this franchise.
Patel has always been passionate about food and beverages, but never anticipated he would be operating a franchise.
I wanted to be a chef before. That didn't work out, so I ended up doing business and then, studying business and then ended up here. Some ways, this is not what I imagined doing later on at this, especially at the age that when I started. I wanted to, work a bit more and then see a little bit more, but when an opportunity presented itself, I wasn't going to turn it down.
The 29-year-old says he had no experience on how to operate a business, but through his support system, he's been able to overcome this.
I was 25 when this started. I had no business sense or anything. Because, the university teaches you all of that in theory, but then once you start doing it, theory and what it is in actual life, it's completely different. So I'm lucky that I've got uncles who are in the business field themselves, as well as my dad. So they kind of helped me along the way into getting to where I am, so to speak.
The young entrepreneur says leaving his family in Australia has been tough.
It was a big change because my 22 years I spent there, so my friends are there, my mum and my brothers were there, my dad travels back and forth, but yeah, he was there. And so it was a big culture shock for me. But no, it's been a good experience so far.
He says anything is possible with the right attitude.
Well, if you're going to do something, you want to do it properly, right? So you want to be successful. You look at all the other businesses here, all the successful ones, they all started at some point. So, it wasn't easy for them, but then they persevered and then they kept going through it and then they are where they are because of that perseverance. So, it's hard. And if you're young, I don't think you can ever ask for too much advice because at the end of the day, these guys or the ones that you go and ask for advice, they've been there, they've done it. They will guide you along the way that you should be going.
Looking towards the future, Patel plans to expand the franchise across the country and persevere for greater things. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
In sports, after the break, Fijian Drua leads NRC standings. And Manav Parmal in talks for Canadian scholarship. This and more coming up.
I'm Andrea Sorbakroa of Neabu Wendibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the...
The Horan Little Shield is on its way to the Pacific Islands for the first time after the Fiji Airways Drua side claimed the NRC Challenge Trophy with a comprehensive 57-31 win over the Greater Sydney Rams yesterday. The Drua's 8-tries-to-5 bonus point win ensures they will stay in the lead pack on the NRC table and reignite their campaign after a big loss in Canberra last week. Meanwhile, Filippo Naungunu and Eto Nambuli scored a try each for Queensland Country to help them beat New South Wales Country Eagles 34-31. Here are the highlights. Fijian flyer Wesenia Levu scored 2 tries for his Stade Francais side to help them beat Nemani Nandolo's Montpellier 31 points to 20 in the French top 14 competition today. Nandolo scored a try for Montpellier. Joshua Tuisova was also on the score sheet, scoring a try for Toulon in his side's 30 points to 27 loss to Bordeaux-Bègles. In other matches, Brive beat Castres Olympique 27-22, while Oyonnax lost to Section Palouise 19-16. Toulouse takes on Clermont at 7 a.m. tomorrow, and you can watch it live on FBC TV. The Fiji under-18 side lost its last match against the Australian Barbarians 21 points to 20 at the secondary schools Tri-Nations yesterday. And flying Fijian fly half Ben Volavola was the star for his North Harbour side in the Maitatan Cup as his last penalty helped them beat Waikato 13-11 this afternoon. The Vodafone Fiji Mbati side moved into camp today ahead of next week's Pacific Tri-Nation Series. The remainder of the overseas-based players joined the squad today as they got ready to face Australia and Papua New Guinea. Rohit Deo with the story.
The Fiji Mbati side is aware that playing the Kumuls and the Kangaroos will be a challenge.
For to the week ahead, especially we're going to be playing against PNG and Australia. And you know, Australia is the world champ for the last World Cup, so it's going to be a good battle for us.
All the players here, I was in Fiji watching them in the World Cup and the NRL, it means a lot for me playing with them. So yeah, we've got a couple more days. We just got in today. We've got a couple more days to train, and then can't wait to jump on the field with the other boys against the Kangaroos and PNG.
With the Rugby League World Cup just weeks away, they are confident in the build-up towards it.
Get name yesterday was a huge honor, and just like I said, it's going to be a good challenge for me, especially coming over here and see what the local boys can bring.
Coach Mick Potter says the players were selected according to their performance.
The team's based on versatility. The team's based on experience and a lot of hard work from some players, as you can see. It means a lot to quite a few people.
The Tri-Nation Series will be played on Saturday at Suvas ANZ Stadium. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
17-year-old Manav Parmal is set to get a football scholarship to play and study at a Canadian university. Parmal, who is in camp with the Suvas side preparing for the upcoming Courts Inter-District Championship, is in the final stages of talks and could be on his way to further his playing career. Rohit Deo tells us more.
One of the youngest players to play for the national side, Manav Parmal is on the verge of making the biggest move of his career.
I'm working with the Fiji football right now and the guys from Canada. And I hope things go well so that I get a chance to study in Canada and also play for the university.
The year-12 student of Vashish Muni College in Navua is hopeful things will fall into place and he will get a chance to further his career.
It will be a great exposure. I'll get a lot to learn, and I hope that things go well and I get an opportunity to travel to Canada and be a part of the academy.
Fiji FA Chief Executive Mohammed Yusuf confirms the likely move on FBC TV's Vodafone Sports Lounge show.
He's got an offer for a university in Canada to go and study, so we're working on it and hopefully we can send this boy away.
For now, Permal is looking forward to his first IDC with the Whites, and if given a chance, he is sure to prove his love for football on the field. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Sydney Mulumulu side took out the Vodafone Franca International Championship, defeating Brisbane 1-0 in the final at Nandi's Prince Charles Park yesterday. Imran Shah scored the winner in the 21st minute. Earlier in the semi-final, Sydney Mulumulu beat Nandi 6-5 on penalties, while Brisbane edged Mengania 4-3 on penalty shootout.
The time frame was very close. We had to play 2 games a day, and plus in this extreme condition, I think boys have kept it very, very good, because some of them are from Melbourne, some of them from Brisbane, and still winter down there. I think they have coped very well.
The Fiji Pearls side lost its last 2 matches against Ireland and England at the European Netball Championship. After going down to Northern Ireland 58-46, the Fiji Pearls lost its last match to England 94-31. Fiji had earlier suffered losses to host Wales and Scotland. Fijian flyer Marika Koroimbete scored a sensational try for Australia to help them beat Argentina 37-20 in the Rugby Championship today. It was a tightly contested first half as the teams rested locked 13-all at half-time. The Wallabies outscored the host 24-7 in the second spell for a well-deserved win. In another Rugby Championship match played, New Zealand edged South Africa 25-24 to continue its unbeaten run in the competition. Anthony Crolla has defeated Ricky Burns in the lightweight division fight in Manchester, England. Fine weather was experienced over the group today. Looking at the west, sunshine and patchy clouds this morning, but it cleared off to a beautiful day. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, another fine sunny day but turning partly cloudy by the afternoon. Up north, a mixture of cloud and sun all day, with temperature hitting a scorching 33 degrees in Lambasa. At sea, moderate to fresh southeast winds, moderate to rough seas. High tide is at 8:20 tonight, with low tide at 2:41 tomorrow morning. Sunrise is at 5:42. Now for tomorrow, cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands are expected. Elsewhere, it should be fine apart from brief showers, cool nights. The outlook for Tuesday, fine weather to continue. Recapping the main stories, world-class heart treatment facility opens in Nandi. Tuna industry, lowest contributor to the Fijian economy. And overseas Bhati players arrive for Tri-Nations. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, do you think e-ticketing makes bus travel more efficient? Visit our FBC website to answer. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट, आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।